And second, we have Miss Mehreen Manzoor. She is the assistant professor of School of Law. Both are highly talented and both have immense knowledge. And I think this webinar would be highly educational for all the people and the young professionals and even the professionals who are listening to this. So let's kick off this session by the introductory remarks. First, we have Ms. Shama Dogre, ma'am. Ma'am, if you can give us our introductory remarks.
Actually, ma'am's audio has not been connected. I would request the host to connect it. Because
Okay,
ma'am,
till this is
not
happening,
techno-savvy.
okay. Till this is happening, we move on to Dr. Juhi Garg, ma'am. Ma'am, if you can give us the introductory remarks, till then we'll fix the technical problems.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, you have chosen, first of all, congratulations to Arush Agrawal, Parth, Ella, Bhavya, and all the team members of Legislation and Arohanam. Thank you very much for inviting me to this wonderful platform. It's a great topic to begin with, and it's a great opportunity for me to share my ideas. I really do not know uh, how many ideas I would be able to share, because I'm not a law person, but yes, I've been working in the field of women and empowerment. So yes, I have a couple of ideas, couple of plans to do certain things for the community. And yes, I have certain data to share with you all, and I'm sure in this journey you're going to work with me to do something better for the society. And a lot of good wishes to these young chaps who are doing really well, and I'm so very proud of all my students, and congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we move on to our next panel, that is Miss Mehreen, ma'am. Ma'am, if we can have your introductory remarks.
Hello, everyone. I think Dr. Juhi has already introduced the topic very well. If she's going to be giving the figures, I'll probably handle the side of other problems and the solutions that law has to offer, maybe, and other sociological aspects of it.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. Then we have Mr. Krishna Singla.
Actually, due to electricity problem, he is not able to join. Mrs. Shama Dogre would be joining. She is fixing her network issue. Then she'll be speaking about.
Arush,
Okay.
am I audible to
So
you?
Okay, sure. Then let's move forward.
Arush, am I audible to you?
Yes, Kumar, you are audible. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, so let's begin with the questions then. When they have joined, and we'll take the introductory remarks later. So, beginning with Miss Mehreen, ma'am. Ma'am, the National Commission for Women has recorded a more than twofold rise in gender-based violence due to the lockdown. What are the possible solutions to prevent the number from rising?
Interesting question. That we saw that when men and women were forced into living together, we saw that there was an increase in violence against women. I think that has nothing to do with pandemic forcing them together. It is a problem of behavior itself, that there is already so much violence, they were just lacking opportunity. So when the opportunity presented itself, we saw more violence. So the problems remain the same. It might have, we might have been experiencing that in a different scenario, but I think the problems remain the same, that we see women as firstly a weaker section. And if a man is frustrated against anything that is happening wrong to him in the world, the woman is seen as a very easy target. And I think the problem somewhat lies that whenever we are looking at any problem, for example, right now we're seeing that unemployment has increased to quite a large scale. Our first instance or first reaction to it would be to decrease the unemployment in men, not in women. Why is that we give the first right of men? We even saw that men were only protesting, even though women too were faced with unemployment, and a lot of maids were kicked out of work, and a lot of people started to do their own work. But now, if we start fixing the problem, it'll start with men and not with women. And I think that is where the problem is, in our attitudes.
Okay, ma'am, just a continuation on this point. Ma'am, you mentioned that woman is always seen as a weak target, yeah, like a weaker target. So, ma'am,
Easier
why is
target,
that?
not
Why
a.
is a thing a
I
easier
think
target? So, why
a lot.
it, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think I understood. Sorry to interject, but I think I understood your question.
No,
Why
no,
we see as women
sure,
as
sure,
the
sure.
easier target is because we've been habituated in that. And a lot of reasons, I can attribute a lot of conditions for the reasons. One is movies, how they are popularly portrayed in cultures. Even if we see the shows right now that we have, we can see a lot of violence. In fact, I would think that with the newer media and with memes coming up, I would have assumed that we would see lesser violence against women. But memes have somehow again projecting some other thing. For example, in the 90s, we saw that we had this feeling that, you know what, it's wrong to hit women. But we are coming back with equality, that, you know what, if women want equality so much, why can't they take a slap on the face? I don't know how is a dialogue that went into violence only. Why were we not questioning that, you know what, no one wanted equality for being slapped back, because if the woman is slapping you, but you're making the question, you're moving the discourse in a very wrong manner. Whereas women probably are asking, why use violence at all? I am asking for equality because maybe my strength doesn't lie in my fists. So maybe I might use my words more. But you are contracting the spaces in which I might make my voice heard too much. One example of that would be representative character of our parliaments, so to speak. Even though we included women in lower or in panchayat elections, etc., we fell short in including women representations in state legislatures and in parliament. Why? Still fail to understand as to how can 7 or 8%, I think that's the percentage of women in our parliament, represent 50% of the women. The members of the parliament or the state legislature, they say such atrocious things, and sometimes not so atrocious things, and sometimes we believe we agree with a lot of things that are said. For example, I remember when Nirbhaya case had happened, and Mrs. Sarojini, I forgot the minister's name. Okay, moving on. That who was a former home minister, I think, she said that Nirbhaya had become a zinda lash. Even though this might not seem as a very offensive statement, this is not a statement equivalent to, you know what, women eating Chinese food is making them wrong, or women having mobile phones is pushing them in the wrong path. But if we do not have more women in the parliament to question such statements that are said in parliament, they'll continue. I think that's the attitude, and not having enough women representation is part of a much bigger problem.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am,
A very interesting point
focusing
that
upon
was
this point, I just wanted to ask you one thing. As we had it, as you talked about local panchayats, and so this question is directed to you as well as Juhi, ma'am. I want to hear the uh, opinions of both of you regarding this. What we have seen is in the practicality that we have seen a lot of women fighting or standing for the elections of sarpanch. But in the village or rural areas, what we are seeking is that after they get elected, they are not actually working on the ground level. Their husbands are working. So, how can we overcome this particular social conditioning, what we have been given and what this society is giving in to their children and they are giving to their children? I mean, it's going from generation to generation that women are standing and they are just a face, and after that face is gone, there's someone else behind it. So I just want to know the opinions about this particular thing, starting with Juhi ma'am and then followed by Juhi ma'am. We'll have Naini.
So it's a very interesting observation, Rishabh and Arush. And very well said, Marine, that yes, the only solution of this problem, equality or disparity amongst men and women across globe. Before actually giving my idea, I would like to share one simple statistics with you all. It's a web report, World Economic Forum report 2020, which came out in January, Feb this year. It says that it is going to take approximately 100 years to bring parity between men and women, and 257 years to bring economic parity between men and women. 257 years to bring economic parity between men and women, which means if you want to bring women into from blue collared work to white collared work, it is going to take 2.5 centuries to bring in there across globe. So this is the kind of economic disparity we have amongst male and females. So what is the only solution? What research says across globe? Multiple researches. Whether it's a KPMG report, whether it is web report or other top ranking reports that we have in India or otherwise. It says that the biggest and the only solution is that apart from mental change, receptivity change here, and people receive women, and behavioral changes and attitudinal changes. Apart from that of course prevails there. Unless people change their mind and receive women as human beings, not as gender, as biological differentiating factor. The what major thing can bring change is that representation of women from the basic level to the highest level. As you said, having women at the parliament level. Right now the data is 18%. Or at parliament level, only at that level we are relatively doing well, and we are at the pedestal of 18%. At the rank of 18% out of 190 nations, we are at 18th level. Otherwise we are not doing well. Okay, otherwise we are just not doing well. If we see the boardroom percentage, we are on the pedestal of 112. You see the pedestal at another very interesting data I would like to share, because I've been doing this research across different dimensions. India at in 132 nations, in other what is the ratio, childbirth and all that. Again, we are not doing 130, 120, 25. We are ranking there, so we are not doing well. So only solution on the broad and the macro level, if we somehow government do some kind of policy making or some kind of mandate, memorandums which makes it mandatory to represent women across sections. And this is what government is doing, like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and 33% reservation. But as you said, very well observed, it's a great observation that men push their women to fight the election, they win, but who's doing the whole show? It is the man who's doing the whole show. Yeah. So who takes the responsibility of whole thing? It is the responsibility of the women to take the charge now. She should understand that, hey, I won the election. It is on my name people voted. It is not on the name of my husband. People voted. I should take the charge. It is the conditioning of women all through these years. She doesn't feel confident that she can even lead a village. She can even lead 100 households, even 80 households in her village. There are only 60, 50, 40, 200 households, not more than that. So this confidence, this skill has to be, generated. And who can do that? The sensitization program, a skilling and training program should be done by the government. And this is where it is lacking. Government is only giving opportunity, but not skilling the women. Right, not imparting that talent and, skill amongst the women for leadership thing.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am,
sorry,
adding,
I've taken time.
not an issue, ma'am.
Okay.
Adding to Juhi ma'am's point, Marine ma'am, do you think that all those programs which ma'am said and all those data ma'am quoted, do we need a women reservation bill also in the parliament to have some women proportion, so that?
Yeah.
Please,
My answer to that is why not? Why not? There are people like me who would definitely stand up for elections. Give me a chance. The amount of money that requires to go into an election is massive. It runs into crores. It's a crore billion industry in itself. My problem is that even that you quoted that many men behind women start to work in the representative capacities. Yes, I will agree with that. But what is the recourse? Even if I were to say there are 5% women who have been rightly elected and doing their job, I think it's a win. But I think it's also about representation, as I meant not just the representation in elective bodies, but it is also how we choose to represent this scenario. This argument I've heard so many times that, yes, panchayat mein we have given reservation, but it's men running the show. That's not true. I've also read stories in which young women who've read in brilliant institutions, who've gone to Harvard's, Oxford's, have gone back and started to work in their panchayats. Why is not anyone talking about them? Because it's very easy to show that as a failure and then to say, you know what, it did not really work in panchayats, so it probably not work in assemblies and at parliament. I don't believe so. And it is so shocking that women, UN, which is at the forefront of human rights in all places, still hasn't had a woman general secretary. Why? Because most nations want to have their own general secretary. So they're like, Pata nahi, maybe a woman would lose this battle. So to play safe, let's have a man. He has better chances of winning. So even in all this, it's all lip service that we want to do, like human rights, this, that. What's the harm? I don't see a harm. Even if I fail in having 50% of women in the parliament, what's the harm? It's only fair that women ask that, what, we make up for 50%. So you should have at least 50% of judges. And when there is a question, for example, recently we had the debate of marital rape in the parliament. I think no person in good conscience would say that that debate went anywhere rightly, because there were no women debating it. How can men decide that what is so sacrosanct for a family? How can they speak for a woman that even though you're beaten up, and in pandemic you'd be beaten up more, but it's so sacrosanct that you shouldn't be wanting to leave it. Family life is so important.
Right.
And a lot of it gets shoved down on the name of culture and traditions and religion, which follows very nicely in the discourse that they themselves want to set.
This is an interesting principle in psychology which says it's addictive to talk about pains.
Right.
So, and this is what media does. It talks about pain, disparity, all the wrong things, and people get attracted to it. So, it's a fundamental principle.
Okay, ma'am, we are just joined by Miss Shama Dogre, ma'am. We can please have your introductory remarks so we can move forward with the debate, ma'am. I
Is my voice is audible?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Your voice is audible, ma'am.
Okay. Now the subject is human rights and women's and children's rights.
Right.
Right?
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
I think my
Arush
voice
or
is not
Rishabh, you
much
should
audible.
repeat the question for ma'am, because I think she was not connected at that time.
Yes. So we are just beginning with the introductory remarks on the topic women and children protection. Ma'am, if you can give your introductory remarks, so we'll further move into the discussion.
Hello.
Ma'am, are we audible
Yes,
to
ma'am.
you? Is it? Can you hear our
Your voice is
voice?
not clear.
Okay. Uh,
Now it is a little
right.
bit clear.
Right. So what we were discussing is
I would like,
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead. Please go ahead with your introductory remark.
I'll just give my own views on the basis of Universal Declaration of Human Rights by UNO, dated 10th December 1948. Resolution is of two. Now, first of all, we are all human beings. We are born equal. Why this differentiation is between men and women? Why this gender discrimination has arisen? We have to go back, long time back, when Rishi Munis were there in India, and otherwise also women were respected equally with the men. Now, how this deterioration has come in our society world over. Everybody has been given rights and freedom set forth, color, gender, language, religion, political, and so on. Human rights also include right to live and liberty, freedom from slavery and torture. But here we see that women are subjected to maximum torture, including children. Why? One most foremost reason is of lack of education and lack of sensitivity among our society. And in our Indian constitution also, we have given equal rights. Equal representation in the legislature as well in the parliament is also provided. But in true letter and spirit, it is not done. And even if it is done, since women are not much educated, they lag behind the men. And sometimes women are themselves are responsible for this. They underestimate their own capability and caliber.
Right.
They have been put behind. They have put behind or within four walls, because without prejudice to any man or women or anyone. It's my personal view. Men are they fear of their, deprivation of their freedom and equality. They think that they are superior to women because some qualities are imbibed in women by nature. They are very soft, they are considerate, they take care of their family, and they try to adjust in every atmosphere and every circumstances. They are not their vices, they are their virtues, and nobody wants to appreciate them. That's why they feel inferior. First of all, we have to see that they should know their rights and their abilities. I'm talking about 90% of the women. At present scenario is a little bit changed, that 10% women are coming ahead and they are rubbing their shoulders with men. I'm not talking about those. I'm also one of them. It's my personal experience when I joined bar. People thought that I have just taken this practice as a platform to get married. Male lawyers tried to humiliate me in the sense that this job is not for women. They have to come across criminals. They have to do sexual offenses cases. Then I snubbed that lawyer. That it was a time when Mrs. Indira Gandhi was Prime Minister of India. And women have already gone to moon also. And the day came later, because we were facing one case together. So he wanted to just humiliate me. And thereafter, after some years, he came to me and told, Shama, you have won. My daughter has also become advocate. So we have to prove our worth. Why? We are not less than anyone. God has given equal rights. Nature has given equal rights, equal resources. Everything is equal. But just, I don't know how it happens in our society, because you must have heard the name of Gargi. Sita, everybody knows. Ashwamedh Yagya was not complete unless statue of Sita was installed in that place. So how come that we have lagged behind now? बेटी पढ़ाओ, पहले क्यों नहीं पढ़ाया लोगों ने कि बस घर का काम करे? घर का काम तो वैसे भी करती है, मैं सारा काम खुद करती हूँ, बिकॉज आजकल मेड को बुलाना खतरे से खाली नहीं है। ऑफिस का काम भी करती हूँ, ऑनलाइन ऑर्डर्स भी पास करती हूँ, जजमेंट्स भी देती हूँ, इंटरव्यू स्टे ऑर्डर भी देती हूँ। तो ये चीजें हम लोगों ने खुद ही कुछ तो क्रिएट की हैं लेडीज। और लेडीज, मैं आपको एक प्रैक्टिकल और बीटर ट्रूथ बताती हूँ, लेडी ही लेडीज के ये दुश्मन हो जाती है, पॉजेसिव हो जाती है। अभी भी सब चाहते हैं कि हमारे बेटा ही पैदा हो, बहू के बेटा हो। आज की ट्रिब्यून में न्यूज़पेपर है, ग्रैंड मदर ने अपनी डॉटर इन लॉ से नाराज थी और अपनी थर्ड उसके बेटी पैदा हो गई, उसको टैंक में भी डुबो दिया। हमारा माइंड सेट तो चेंज ही नहीं हुआ. एजुकेशन इज नॉट वर्थ अगर हमारा माइंड ही डेवलप नहीं हुआ.
Right, ma'am.
डेवलपमेंट तो
Very
तब
well
मानी
said.
जाती है जब रात के 1 बजे भी अकेली लड़की, अकेली लेडी कहीं
Ma'am, you're not audible.
I believe there is some technical glitch. The video has stopped. Not an issue. We can move forward with another
Okay,
question.
we can. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I would like
so
to put one question.
yes, please, sir.
Don't you think majority of the women are unaware about their legal rights, so they fail in exercising it? So can't the government can't the government take some initiative to aware women about their legal rights so that they could exercise too? Majority of the women, like, they come across, they face discrimination just because of the fact that they're unaware about the legal rights. They do not understand that what is the status of women in the eyes of law. So can't we have any initiative? Can't the government take any initiative for imparting awareness regarding legal rights to all the underprivileged women? I hope my question is
Please
clear.
address this question to a panelist.
Yeah. I would like to ask it from Juhi ma'am.
Well, thank you, Fatima. This is an interesting question. I'll try to answer this question. However, I'm not the right person to answer this, but let me try. First of all, thanks to the government that they're at least trying to make certain laws and policies for the women. And to my knowledge, Mehreen can correct me if I'm wrong. That when the act is out, the policy is out, it is assumed that the people should know about it. And government cannot every time guide or train people about all these things. So people must read and sensitize themselves, or train themselves or educate themselves about all these things. However, training about policies and acts and these things is a sensible option to educate themselves. Training themselves about leadership is a separate issue, which I talked about in the previous talk. So, but when the act is out, it is assumed that you should be knowing about it, because every act, every policy, everything, government cannot take the guarantee that it is going to be trained to the people or to the segment or to the cluster it belongs to. Mehreen, your say on this. If correct me if I'm wrong.
No, ma'am, you were absolutely right in saying that ignorance of law is no excuse, and I think all the law students have been made well aware of this from first year. But I don't agree with the question itself that Ilsa asked, that awareness is the problem. I think it's an easy out that awareness is a problem. We have lakhs of criminal cases that get registered in a year. Thousands of them are of rape and domestic violence, etc. I don't think it's an awareness problem. I think
Government does
there
a
are
lot
much
of promotion also. Does a lot of promotion also. A lot of advertisement is out.
You have shows such as Crime Patrol and whatnot, and then you have cases, and then you have, I think there is enough information about where the women can go. I don't think it's about that. I think there are institutional bottlenecks that you will face afterwards. For example, for the longest time, if it's a sexual offense, we had the two-finger test that was still applicable. And also we had questions that could be asked of the character of the woman. And no less, they were asked by men. Again, as I said, we have around 11% of women in lower judiciary, which is quite low. And for any woman with whom, and we have made sex such a taboo to talk about in India. And on top of that, when you go to the court and you want to narrate your ordeal, God forbid you have to do that. I don't think it's going to be an easy task with a courtroom filled with just men. And you know that they are there to harass you. That is one of the tactics. I don't think it's an awareness issue.
Okay, ma'am. So
Ms. Shyama, ma'am, Yeah. So Ms. Shama ma'am talked about jobs in particular. So Juhi ma'am, I have a question: that is there still pink collarization of jobs that is evident in Indian society?
It does exist. It does exist very prominently, and which is why there is a huge statistics which is available. Every a lot of researches are done on this. That I'll tell you the web statistics only, which says, would you like to hear the statistics? Would you like to know the statistics? It may
Surely, ma'am.
apprise
Yes,
you with
ma'am.
the
Sure,
interesting.
ma'am.
Okay, so 40% of the wage gap which exists between between the men and the women for the same position, wage gap, which means the salary gap. So 50% of the gap exists, which is in the total package. So monetary, non-monetary package gap, 50% gap exists between men and women right now also for the same position. So this is one thing about the disparity, economic disparity between men and women for the same position. This is one about economic disparity. Now, also, uh, why this is happening? Because men doesn't want women to climb up the stairs, climb up the the
Pay
economic
ladder.
level, yes, and corporate ladder, so on and so forth, because somehow they feel, and they also it is again a research, very prominent research, which says that in leadership positions, when they are interviewed, women are interviewed, they are asked such questions which are very offending, that I hope you're not planning a child, are you married, Well, you know and multiple questions which are very offending for a woman to, how much are you into relationship, do you live with your in-laws? So such questions are very intriguing, and which can offend a woman to a great deal. So and they're assumed that if they're into their biological cycle of they're in family way, they cannot work for leadership positions. And it is in fact, the government of India, DST, Department of Science and Technology, Department of Biotechnology, and many other government departments, research government department, they have the facility for women scientists. They keep 2 to 3 years, in fact, in certain departments, 5 years for the biological cycle. They say that you can take this break, you can take the research sabbatical, and you can work on your research while you're in the biological cycle and do well in your life and rejoin your services. And this break won't be considered as a job break, right?
Right.
When the government considers this, why can't corporate considers this? In UN Women, United Nations Women Organization, you know, they have a separate wing which says, which works for. They have a memorandum to sign. They have a signatory, organizations signs the memorandum and says that they promise that we will bring the parity between men and women, and we will bring all these things. They have crutches within the organization. They have menstruation rooms so that women can rest. They have nursing rooms so that women can feed their children. Such facilities, such organizations provide, wherein women are given a lot of benefit, and women are given flexibility. Even menstruation leaves are into picture now. They're talked about. I hope Mary would be knowing about it.
Yes, yes.
S- Multiple kinds of leaves are there, which talks about challenges that women face on the biological level, but she
Right.
works equally well. So world is talking about it, and there are multiple research which shows when a woman is pregnant, there is a particular kind of chemical which is produced in her brain in point 0.0 something percentage, which is responsible for the child's brain development, and only women can produce this particular chemical. If women is not fit, if women is under stress and under anxiety and all things like that, if she's not working well and she's not doing well, the expected child may may born as a mentally retarded child, or may born as a mentally unhealthy child, may born with different disparities and difficulties. So, which is why such children are born at a high rate these days. The multiple data on this also. आपके ब्लू ये पिंक कॉलर जॉब्स के साथ ये डिफिकल्टीज ज्यादा आ रही है. अगर
Right.
रिसर्चेस में आप पढ़ेंगे तो पिंक कॉलर जॉब्स के साथ ये डिफिकल्टीज ज्यादा आ रही है.
Just in the last 30 seconds, can you please explain the audience what does the term means, pink collarization?
Okay, specific to women, like nursing, like tailoring, like certain jobs which are very specific to women, girly jobs.
Maids.
Yes, teaching, एकदम specifically primary teaching, and all those things, very girly jobs which are very specific to gender. People stereotype it with specifically to women, so which is not like such.
Right.
In foreign countries, Finland, primary jobs are done by men, and they are earning huge amounts. So it is not in foreign countries. The concept of color is not related to gender at all. Okay,
Right,
science
ma'am.
says that.
Mehreen, ma'am, as
Yes.
we're talking about the jobs, so does national culture affect the number of female entrepreneurs?
Yes, definitely. I would say national culture, yes, but many a times when there is an expediency of a situation, then it alters our morality towards it as well. To take an example, before the World War, US had most of the men were working in industries, etc. But when US went to war, they suddenly brought in this. I don't know if you've seen those posters. It's an American woman, and she says, "I must go to industry." And it altered their morality towards work because women started to go to work because they needed women who could take place of men. Similarly, we see in India that first, for example, farming was traditionally a male job. But when men migrated to cities and to take up jobs in industries, etc., we saw that a lot of women take their places. So yes, I think it depends a lot on to which extent we want women to take up positions. Now, somehow we see education as a department which is more suited to women. A lot of men who have good education, etc., do not want to become teachers because they see it as a girly job. So it oftentimes it has to do with something about the perception that a country makes. But surprisingly, even though that we see most women in education, my mother is a teacher as well. She received a letter from the government saying that we want to recognize the work that teachers did during COVID. So send us your details. We will commend those men. And in that notification, they had written that you send us his details. We will give him a letter of commendation. Even after we've spoken about this so many times that, instead of using a he, she, use a gender neutral term, or in fact use she, but that's not going anywhere. We are still the same, and that makes me wonder that we might do a lot of development in our academic side, but the state isn't listening to us. So I think yes, perceptions do matter a lot in jobs, but I think I have a feeling that whenever it is about high money making jobs, it's the men who will be there.
Right. I want to direct this question to Shama ma'am as well. Shama ma'am, my question was that does the national culture affect the female entrepreneurs? So, what do you wish to speak upon them? What are your opinions regarding this? Ma'am, can you please unmute yourself? You are muted.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Please repeat your question.
Yes, ma'am. My question was, does national culture affect the number of female entrepreneurs or workers who are, because we have seen a huge amount of decadal fall in the women workforce. So, if you can please share your opinion with us.
No, now the question is that there are so many laws are formulated by the government, and this gender discrimination has been vanished in books. But is it vanished practically or not? We have come a long way since our independence or otherwise also. If we see gender discrimination, now the sati pratha has been abolished. Have you ever heard that the husband has become sati or sata? So it has started from the very beginning. Parda pratha is still there in Bihar, in remote areas.
Right.
I can give you law books reference also, but I'm telling you the practical aspects of the life. In various, I have been to Patna and surrounding areas, and I have been to Guwahati also. I have seen Guwahati is the most advanced state in our country. Girls are equally educated. There is no eve teasing. They are frank, they are honest, they are smart, and even lady lawyers are equal to male lawyers in the High Court also. Because I think our historical background is also one of the reasons that women have not come forward for their rehabilitation or education. Particularly when Mughals came in India, they have destroyed so many things, our culture, education. Though they were very well cultured in the sense कि उनकी तहजीब देखिए आप कितना अच्छे से उनका वो था, लेकिन कुछ चीजों में पर्दा प्रथा तभी से शुरू हुई, पहले नहीं थी. इक्वालिटी का मतलब है कि हम वी आर ऑल ह्यूमन बीइंग्स. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी हैव टू ट्रीट एवरीबडी एज ए ह्यूमन बीइंग. Only then we can bring women at par with men in social scenario. Women discriminate their own daughters also. पढ़ लिख के क्या करना है? अब मैं शहर की बात नहीं कर रही हूँ, गांव, बिकॉज शहर में तो काफी डेवलपमेंट है, कानून भी लागू होते हैं. गांव में अभी भी 10 पास के बाद या 12 पास के बाद लड़कियों ने क्या करना है पढ़ के? खाना भी बनाना है. और एक टाइम ऐसा था, इवन इन एंटायर वर्ल्ड, women are meant to get married and bear children only. They were just like their property. They have no say in their any family issues, political issues, and otherwise. We have to go reasons behind all these things. Sensitization and mental education is more important to come at par with men.
Rishabh, sorry.
Number of legal provisions, law formulated by constitution and legislature, women rights. I will just tell you women rights law. Abolition of sati pratha long time back. Right now, sati pratha is almost abolished. It took, I think, 100 years to abolish. In Rajasthan, even after abolition of this pratha, one Kumar, Roop Kamar, some sort of that name, I forgot. She was became sati in modern India. Then right to life and liberty to live with dignity. Every woman has right to live in dignity, respectable, self-respect. But sometimes parents say, okay, thoda compromise kar lo, marriage ke baad bhi. Why should she always compromise? Apart from this Women Rights Commission was set up in state level, at national level also. Human Rights Commission is also there. Then Prevention of Sexual Abuse at Workplaces Act, POXO Act for minor girls, then Hindu Marriage Act. Number of reforms and amendments have been made in that act. The Hindu Succession Act. Otherwise, girls were not having equal rights in their ancestral property. Now they have equal rights. So a lot of improvement has been made. Then Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act. Unmarried women was not supposed to take adoption of child. Now she can also adopt. Otherwise, male member was only entitled. Then I can say that we have come long way, but still miles to go for rural women particularly.
Arush, if I may add to this point, the statistic that Rishabh is quoting, that we see that there is a fall in employment of women. It was seen that around the time we had MG Narega scheme that was implemented, which increased the rural livelihood. That saw a decrease in women employment. That necessarily should not be seen as a bad thing, because maybe women were not giving dignified work. Maybe women wanted to work more because there was lesser money at home, so she was forced into working. Maybe from this statistic, I might assume that the men in the family were able to get enough money so that the woman did not have to go out and work. And why is that? My another question with this is that why is that we speak about women empowerment only in the sense of women employment? Because numbers could be anything. Number could also be that a lot of women could be employed in home services like maids, etc., and that could be seen as employment. A lot of women would probably see empowered by just being at home. Why is a homemaker or a housewife any less empowered than a working woman? Is my question.
That is really an interesting point, and this was one of the questions that I was going to ask. That why is there a value attachment for someone who is going out to work? And the most important part, I believe, of like a life is to nurture a child, is to imbibe good values, and we are not giving a value attachment in that sense. So that is something that is really hurtful, I guess. So
It's a very
moving,
interesting
yeah.
it's a very interesting thing which Behreen said and you pointed out. Raising a child is a 20 years project. It's a
Sometimes
20
even
years
longer.
project. So, and if the child is not right, if if this, I mean, you could not, I mean, whatever. So sometimes it is longer. Sometimes it is 25 years or 30 years project. If he doesn't get a job or some problem arises, so it's at least 18 to 20 years of project. And a lady is working on that project without any, remuneration. So that's the tragedy of this nation, that or otherwise across, I mean, globally, that women doesn't get remuneration for her work at home. And also at the farms, she's working on the farms for 12 hours, 16 hours, 15 hours, but she's not the farmer. She's not declared as a farmer because she's not the
The
land
reason behind
lady. She's not the, yes,
the
ma'am.
reason behind this is that men are not taught to respect women from the very beginning. We have to teach them from their childhood that you cannot touch a woman without her permission. You have to respect her work. You have to protect her dignity. Why the crime rate has increased? I'm not against men. I have my husband, my brothers, my son, but now we have to strike a balance between both. Boys are given preference. If they come late at home, we say a few words, but if girls goes late night and all, we are afraid. Why? It's fault of
Because
our
of the
society and lack of sensitization.
IMF had in fact calculated, and it had proposed that we need to include the work that women do silently. It needs to be recorded. Maybe that would be one way in which we see how women are affecting and helping in our economy, and we have no way to measure it. And they had come up with whatever statistics and measurements for the same, but there was an effort underway for that as well.
Okay, ma'am.
So women are homemakers, and some natural virtues are imbibed in them. Biological
Women
and mental
confederations are doing it. Women confederations are doing it. Multiple women
Right.
confederations.
And
Ma'am.
if the men are made homemakers, God knows what happened. So you have to strike a balance, and you have to sensitize the public at large that respect women,
Ayush and
respect their
Rishabh, why
work.
did you laugh?
Nothing, ma'am.
The
That's why I'm
point,
saying,
No, 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 no,
no.
just
no.
see,
I think this is the
just see the
crux of this
attitude.
argument that you laughed at this.
Yes, ma'am.
So
I'll
So
he's
tell
that's
you
what
silently
why.
I'm saying.
agreeing
No,
upon
no,
that.
You
no,
have to
ma'am.
change your mindset.
No, no, no,
Yeah,
ma'am.
he
Ma'am,
laughed at the
We
prospect of
You have
being a
to save her
homemaker. But
money.
what if Arush and Rishabh, you
no,
want to
no,
be
ma'am.
homemakers
No,
tomorrow? You
I,
want to be house husbands?
ma'am, I'll justify it because I laughed because the fact that
Mm-hmm.
men are homemakers, that I see a man that is a homemaker. I laughed on this point because of the incapability of raising a child, that he's
Very
incapable of
convenient.
doing.
Very
Man,
convenient.
that is not convenient.
If women are also at fault that they are not homemakers, women are also at fault. लड़के
Right.
हैं ये काम थोड़ा करेंगे, घर का काम
We
थोड़ा
might
करेंगे,
assume
so we
it's
are
only a rural problem, but I don't know how many of you
हाँ,
saw that show on Netflix, Indian Matchmaking, and it had people
Yes.
from the most wealthiest of the backgrounds. And I have not seen
हम्म,
that much hypocrisy in a very long time. I think it's erroneous for even us to imagine that only rural India में problem है. Only illiterates don't know how to
rural
do it.
area
I
in
think
some parts
we
of
are doing
country
way
have
wrong.
Ma'am, just a question. Just a
I've
question
seen
to
in
all three
Himachal
of.
Pradesh. I belong to Himachal. I've seen that men equally work at
Exactly.
home also, community service or otherwise also.
Ma'am, just a question. As we are talking about raising a child, so suppose we have seen a lot of domestic violence cases in this pandemic and before the pandemic as well. So, is a child witnessing domestic violence considered to be a form of child abuse? So, who is to be considered as an abuser of the child? The mother or the batterer or both? So, this is a question I wish
Both,
to. I want to direct it to all three of you and want to know your opinions
because
upon this. Starting with Shama,
both
ma'am.
are both are at fault because children have very soft mind and very delicate and very what will you call it very delicate thinking and just like a raw material. He acts whatever he's seen at his own house. And if women or men is subjected to domestic violence and the children are watching, both are responsible for that. I'll come to child rights also. Before that, I want to just tell you legal points of women empowerment. Legislature and parliament has a number of laws for this purpose. Pensionary benefits have also been given to women, widows, deserted daughter, divorcee daughter, and unmarried daughter. Then maintenance under section 125 of Criminal Procedure Code. If the divorce proceedings are pending, they can ask for their maintenance. Then apart from this, divorce proceedings have been now simplified. Otherwise, for judicial separation, 2 years were there, mandatory that they have to live separately for 2 years. Now it has been made 1 year. Amendment has been made. And Supreme Court also says that if it is now not possible to live together, they can come for divorce. Amicable settlement, if not possible, consent is given and both can come to the court for divorce. So women empowerment is there, but women are not aware of their rights also. There are a number of laws. Now crèches are also established in workplaces. It is mandatory now.
Right.
So that they can bring up their children to crèche also, they can work and they can also look after their children. Because some virtues are given to mother only. She's more considerate and more concerned about their children. It's natural phenomena, we can't deny it. Nature has given such virtues to women. Some men are also like that, but I think from the very childhood, they have not been brought up like that in that environment. That is the main flaw in our society. Now you must have seen in videos, advertisements, father is also taking care of his child. So society is changing, but ratio is very low. We have to change it.
Yes, ma'am. As we
So
have paucity
I
of
just
time.
want to say that
Sure.
I just want to say that law is there, awareness is there, but lack of education and sensitization among the women is the main reason that they are not coming forward. Our society, our families are in home atmosphere that is responsible for all these things.
Right now. Followed by Mary,
So for
ma'am,
child
please.
rights are concerned, I'll just take 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'll take 5 minutes and I'll just tell about the children rights.
Surely,
I
ma'am.
was
Please.
chairman of the HP Commission for Protection of Child Rights. child rights, child is our future. It's fundamental. It's the foundation of our society. But we can't. We have not taken them as that. We just see them as property. We hardly give them time to develop independently. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
So HP Commission for Protection of Child Rights was established in 2015. I was the first chairperson of that commission. National Commission for Protection of Child Rights is also established. And the main purpose of this act is to look after the interests of children from the very beginning, how they are brought up in their houses or in their child homes, then children of the inmates of jails. And if some complaint is made under POCSO Act or otherwise child abuse, we can refer the matter to the authorities concerned to take action against the defaulters and accused. So this law is always there, but society is not sensitized. Now street children are there. We just snub them, then they ask for some help and they are begging in the streets. They have every right to education. Now free education is there for up to 8th class. But sometimes their parents don't want them to go to school because of their poverty and social stigmas and all. It's my personal experience. When somebody some child asks for begging, we tell them that you come with us and we'll send you school and free education, free food, free clothing. But they're not aware of their rights. Even their parents, there's no. Dihadi karenge sara din. That's why they just give birth to many children. So this is social problem. And it will take years together to abolish that problem. So my just personal view is that lack of education, poverty, sensitization in our society is the main cause for all these problems. And we should come forward to hold seminars, particularly in rural areas and slum areas where people are not aware of their rights and they don't want to send their children to school. They just go for easygoing money, and some involve in committing crimes also. So these are the main reasons that we are lagging behind. Otherwise, throughout world, people have faced so many discriminations, but they have improved themselves. People in USA also, ladies were so fed up with their men. They were so drunk that they came out in the streets and agitated. They have improved. Otherwise, our country was much developed than these countries. Why this has happened? Population, lack of education, poverty, and social scenario. These are the main reasons for all these facts, and we have to change it. We should come forward, and our new generation, they must be taught in their schools also about all these things instead of giving them academic education. And for women empowerment, from the very beginning, after 10th, for 2 years, they should be given technical education only. Suppose I have interest in drawing, painting, I should be given that platform from the very beginning after 10th. Because 10th is a basic education and you have to learn also main subjects. For 2 years or 3 years, they should learn their technical skills, skill power. And suppose somebody is very good in technician's work, he can be taught
Ma'am, I have one question from you.
electricity work. Somebody is very big about.
Should I proceed?
Take interest in their children one by one personally. That which child is more specific in which skill, and you will see the difference. Then instead of giving academic education, they should be provided technical education for 2 or 3 years. Then you will see the change in the society, and our nation will go ahead. And it's my personal view that we say beti padhao, then again it will be an imbalance in the society. बेटों को भी पढ़ाइए, वो 10वीं पास भी नहीं करते हैं, 8वीं पास भी नहीं करते हैं, पढ़ाई छोड़ देते हैं. क्यों छोड़ते हैं वो पढ़ाई? उस टाइम माइंड उनका इतना ज्यादा बॉगलिंग उसमें होता है, डिसओरिएंटेड होता है. दे नीड their mind to be channelized. They can touch sky if they are given proper education and guidance, whether it is girl or boy. But we are not taking them serious. जो बच्चा बहुत ही पढ़ने में अच्छा है उसको तो encourage करेंगे, जो थोड़ा सा भी पढ़ने में कम है उसको discourage करेंगे, वो demoralize हो जाता है. अगर उसका इंटरेस्ट किसी और चीज में है, we should be given that platform. So दोनों को पढ़ाना बड़ा जरूरी है. लड़कियां पीछे हैं तो वो भी लिटरेसी में देखिए 5 स्टेट्स जो है फर्स्ट 5 में आते हैं, हिमाचल, असम, केरला इज ऑन द टॉप. आंध्रा जिसको हम कहते हैं इतना वो है, आंध्रा सबसे पीछे है आज की डेट में. आज लिटरेसी डे भी है.
Right.
तो ये सब चीजें
Yes,
वी
ma'am.
हैव टू गिव सीरियस थॉट टू ऑल दीज प्रैक्टिकल एस्पेक्ट्स. किताबें तो आप भी पढ़ लेंगे, मैं भी पढ़ लेती हूँ, लेकिन प्रैक्टिकल एस्पेक्ट के लिए वी हैव टू गो टू रूरल एरियाज. गांव को शहर बनाना है तो गांव में ही शहर ले जाना पड़ेगा. केरला में आई हैव सीन दैट यू कैन नॉट मेक डिफरेंस बिटवीन रूरल एंड अर्बन एरिया. So we should be very optimist that one day, even after 50 or 100 years, we'll be much ahead with other countries.
Surely,
Ma'am, I
ma'am.
have one
Let's hope
question.
for the best.
Surely, ma'am.
Ma'am, should I ask?
Yes, please, answer.
Ma'am, what do you think that how important is to teach the children about the difference between good touch and bad touch so that it could be implemented in an effective method?
So we'll be taking this question.
Is very good.
Yes. So we'll be taking this question for 1 minute
From
only,
Juhi, ma'am.
because of the paucity of time. We need to go with the Q&A session with the audience also. So
Once you tell your child that you cannot touch a girl or any female without her consent, by the time he grows up, he will understand. And such education is must when the boy or girls reaches adolescent age. Because curiosity is there, curiosity has to be killed. वो कहते हैं ना, अंधेरे उजाले से अंधेरे की ओर, अननोन की तरफ जाते हैं, जो हमें पता नहीं होता है. जिस चीज को हम छुपाएंगे उसकी
Yes, ma'am.
तरफ ज्यादा ध्यान जाता है. आप स्टोरीज भी पढ़ते हैं, स्मॉल रैट है, उसकी माँ कहती है उधर नहीं जाना, नहीं जाएगा. तो ये क्यूरियोसिटी डेवलप माइंड में, दैट इज फॉर द पेरेंट्स टू टेल. उनको डिस्क्रिशनरी पावर दीजिए बच्चों को कि आपने गुड और बैड में कैसे डिफरेंशिएट करना है. लेट देम गो फ्री. I have read in autobiography of our late president Abdul Kalam, when he was to go to Madras for their higher studies after 5th class. His mother started crying. His father said, "Why are you crying? He is not your child. He has come through you." So children are not our property. They are independent human beings. Let them grow. You must have seen that the wildflower grows without any hifazat or care. And protected flower or watch seed never grow. बड़े पेड़ की छाया में छोटा नहीं फलता है. हम बच्चों को ग्रो ही नहीं होने देते हैं.
Yes, ma'am.
तो उनको जब बाहर जाएंगे गलती भी करेंगे, let them commit mistake. Everybody is fallible to mistakes. Nobody is perfect. But we want our child should be perfect. वो perfection कहाँ से लाएंगे आप? Near to perfection. नंबर लेने का ही रहता है, हर वक्त नंबर लेने का रहता है, हर वक्त compete करने का रहता है. खुश कैसे रहना है वो भी नहीं सिखाते हैं बच्चों को. यूएसए में एक कपल
Ma'am, actually we are really short on time because we have to do the Q&A. Sorry for interrupting. I'll quickly take the views of go on,
Yeah.
Elsa, go on.
So before the Q&A session, I would like to ask one question from Mehreen, ma'am. Ma'am, India is one of the 36th country that has not criminalized marital rape yet. What are your views on it?
I think we already touched upon that subject before. It has not gone down very well with the women in our country, but if there are women going to be absent from the discussion itself, having a seminar like this is not going to solve that problem, because where it really matters, we are not letting women be a part of those discussions.
right.
Personally, I believe if a lot of women want marital rape to be a rape, a category of rape, it should be.
Surely, ma'am. Uh, Moving with the previous question, what was asked between how to make a child understand between good touch, bad touch, and who is the batterer, and I mean who is the abuser during when a child witnesses a domestic violence. So who is the abuser? Because it's also kind of child abusing. So is the mother the abuser or the batterer or the father being the batterer? He or the both of the people. So we heard from Shama ma'am. We want to listen your opinions. Marine ma'am, followed by Juhi ma'am. So
I believe in that kind of a situation, if a mother is getting beaten up by the father and to ask who's to blame, it can't be just those two people. It can't be just a woman who is a mute spectator is already getting beaten up, or for that matter, even the father. If the father has already seen his own father, his grandfather do the same, his neighbor do the same, I can't even blame this guy for beating up his wife. And children out of this marriage, I mean, I cannot ignore the fact that our surroundings have tremendous impact on us. Even if the child were not to see violence at home, what if he sees violence in the movies, or what if he sees violence in many of these video games that I am not aware of, but so many shows. So it's the entire thing. I cannot really pinpoint a problem to just a husband and a wife and tell that they are the problem. The problem is all of us. The problem is all of us in thinking that maybe we are not doing our bit. The history is to be blamed. This is to be blamed. The Mughals destroyed our culture, or thinking that we were doing so well, but somehow we are not doing well. It's to have any of these discussions. We need to sit down and categorically see where we are going wrong.
okay, Juhi ma'am, as per Shama ma'am, it's both the people are wrong. As per Mary ma'am, it's the social conditioning given to a man, or the mute spectator is also not at fault. So it's the social conditioning. What are your thoughts and opinions upon this particular thing, particular question?
So I agree with both of them. There are two aspects. At the moment, if we observe, yes, the man and the woman both are wrong, you know. But yes, if we see their, learning in the past, the baggage that they carry, beating of the man is the manifestation of what he has got from the social conditioning or the baggage that he carries. He must have seen a movie, or must have learned from the parents, or must have seen in the school, or whatever. So it's just the manifestation of what he has learned, of what he has grown with. Or the lady is quiet, is a silent person, is the manifestation of her social conditioning, what she has seen or what baggage she carries. So it's the history that they carry with them. It's all together. At the moment, if we observe as a spectator, as a child, if I am observing something, I would say, my father is wrong, my mother is wrong, or this man is wrong, or this woman is wrong. She shouldn't be silent and he shouldn't be doing this. But once I sit and observe, and as a spectator, I observe the history behind the whole thing, I would find out it's about the perspective, the stereotype, and all those things. So a lot of work needs to be done. We need to understand the reasoning and all that package, all that is there in the platter. So I completely agree with Mehreen and Madam. So it's the whole thing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Rishabh, I would like
Rachel,
to add to this. It's
Right.
also our obsession with holding people responsible. If I
Okay.
hold that mother and father responsible,
Attribution.
it absolves me of any responsibility of correcting my own behavior. So if the courts tomorrow are like, no, father was responsible, or even the mother, it need
Mhm.
not matter who is. It has absolved courts from looking into themselves, that what are we doing? Why do we not have other women judges amongst ourselves? So maybe
How do you
somewhere there is.
attribute? Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
How do
ma'am.
you attribute the
Ultimately,
cause?
it is something which is damaging the personality of a child, because from we have seen in a lot of interviews a child become from type A personality, from type B. I'm talking a bit into the psychological thing, psychological aspect. So okay, moving forward with the quick Q&A session. So first question was from Chopra sir.
Rishabh, before that, I have
Right.
one last question. because
Okay.
I feel this is really important to address. Ma'am, this is a controversial question. However, it needs to be discussed. Like in the Manu Smriti Dharma Shastra 9.3, it states a woman should never be independent and her father has authority over her in the childhood. And even if we see the Ramayana, this character of Sita is submissive in nature where she needs someone to protect her. So, ma'am, how has religious text shaped the current societal conditions and the conditioning in the society? Ma'am, this question is open to for Juhi ma'am, followed by Marine ma'am, and lastly Shama ma'am. Then we'll quickly move on to the Q&A.
Arush, thank you so much for asking this question. I hope you're aware of the history of Manu Smriti.
Again,
Hope you are
gender
aware.
discrimination is there.
Ma'am,
In
this is a very
Ramayana,
beautiful. Can I start?
Ramayana
Yes,
is very beautifully written also. But again, gender discrimination is there.
yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
That is
there's
what we are
On the
discussing. That is what we are discussing. Let's
in
have it in
Ramayana
a
also
sequence way.
gender discrimination is there. Now you
I
see, every time Sita has to go Agni Pariksha. He has to undergo Agni Pariksha. What about Lord Rama? I'm a devotee of Rama, but I have complaint against my God. Why gender discrimination? Why Rama has not given Agni Pariksha? So the authority of male is time immemorial in our society. Women has been treated as property. Once we say that woman is a human being, born from the same source, has same biological needs and same body, apart from biological difference, till then we cannot change our society. We have to inculcate in our children, both girls and boys, that respect each other. Once that virtue is inculcated in both, you will see the change in our society, that they respect each other. Why women are thought as inferior or as property? I'm failed to understand. I have a very free mind, very free soul, sort of. Now you are talking about matrimonial rape. Girls or women are feeling shy to come out. With them, social stigma is attached. Look at her, she has gone to the court for this. It is her husband's right to have physical relation with her, being a married woman. What can you do? Domestic violence and such matrimonial rapes are occurring every day in most of the houses in our society, even in foreign countries also. Sometimes because of their children, to save their family, their marriage, they just feel shy. My personal experience, my sister was subjected to cruelty. She had 6 children just because she had 2 daughters, then 1 son. They want Joda, then again daughter, and then again twins. What is this society? They are educated, they are moneyed people. So charity begins at home. हमारे घरों में ही ठीक नहीं है कुछ भी.
Surely, ma'am.
हम ही
Moving
जिम्मेवार
forward.
हैं. Everybody is responsible.
Right,
जब
ma'am.
तक माइंड ठीक नहीं होगा, we can't do anything. हमारा माइंड ही पॉलिश नहीं है.
Surely. As ma'am has put
Daughter-in-law,
forward her
देखिए,
thoughts.
I'll just tell you, daughter-in-law की आते ही सोचते हैं वो सारा काम वही करेगी. That is not fair. Treat her as your daughter. If you want to bring change in your society.
Yes,
That are
ma'am, we totally agree.
really some interesting points. We'll revert back to the questions due to the paucity of time, and we'll take Juhi ma'am's and Marine ma'am's opinion on this. Juhi ma'am.
या तो मैं मनुस्मृति के बारे में जरूर बताना चाहूंगी और थोड़े से मेरे व्यूज हैं. 2-3 मिनट में जरूर बोलना चाहूंगी और मैं चाहूंगी कि मुझे 2-3 मिनट दिया जाए बिना किसी इंटरप्शन के.
बिल्कुल ma'am, please.
धन्यवाद. मनुस्मृति धर्मशास्त्र है, ठीक है. और स्मृति है ये जो है स्मृति, और उसके बारे में मैं नहीं जाऊंगी। तो ये 200 BC से 200 AD के बीच में लिखा गया था, यानी कि लगभग 1000 सालों के बीच में लिखा गया था, जिसमें लगभग 2900 से ज्यादा वर्सेस है। ठीक है, लेकिन ये चूंकि 1000 सालों के बीच में लिखा गया, तो ऐसी मान्यता है कि किसी एक व्यक्ति ने या किसी एक मनु ने ही नहीं लिखा। माना जाता है कि 7 मनु थे, ठीक है, या मनु एक ऐसी फिलॉसफी है, ठीक है, एक थ्योरी है, फिलॉसफी है, या 7 मनु थे, उन सातों ने मिलकर लिखा था। देयर आर मल्टीपल काइंड ऑफ थ्योरीज व्हिच इज अवेलेबल हिस्टोरिकली। ठीक है, क्योंकि ये लिखा गया है इसलिए इतिहास है। वॉट एवर इज रिटन इज एविडेंट, इज अवेलेबल इन द फॉर्म ऑफ राइटिंग, इज इतिहास। ठीक है, इज हिस्ट्री। तो ये इतिहास है, मनुस्मृति इतिहास है, धर्मशास्त्र है। तो 2900 प्लस वर्सेस में 1200 प्लस वर्सेस फर्स्ट जो है, इट वाज इन फर्स्ट वर्जन इट वाज अवेलेबल, और पहले मनु ने स्थापित किए थे। बाकी जितने वर्सेस 1600 प्लस वर्सेस हैं वो बाद में ऐड किए गए, और 200 BC से लेके 200 प्लस 200 AD तक में जितने लोग आए और जितने इन्वेजन्स हुए, ठीक है, उसमें एडिशंस हुए। तो आप अगर हिस्टोरिकली इसको मल्टीपल टाइम्स रीड करें, मल्टीपल वर्जन्स रीड करें, मल्टीपल हिस्टोरियंस के बारे में इसका इतिहास देखेंगे, तो आपको पता लगेगा कि बहुत से एमालगेशंस हैं, बहुत से विभिन्न प्रकार के विचार लोगों ने इसमें दिए हैं। ठीक है, there are multiple kinds of thoughts which are available here. जो पहले 1200 वर्सेस हैं उसमें जो है सृष्टि की रचना, यानी कि how universe was evolved, you know, राजा का धर्म, ठीक है, and all those things are available, और 16 संस्कार, इन सब चीजों की बातें उसमें कही गई हैं। और स्त्री का चरित्र और स्त्री स्त्री का स्थान समाज में उसकी बात की गई है, और उसमें स्त्री का स्थान जो कहा गया है वो मैं सिर्फ एक वर्स से आपको बताना चाहूंगी, जो चैप्टर 3 में 53rd वर्स में है, जिसमें इतना ज्यादा डिबेट है। मल्टीपल लोग B.R. अम्बेडकर ने जला दिया था, ठीक है, लेकिन सिर्फ एक वर्स से जो बहुत पॉपुलर है, उस वर्स से मैं आपको बताऊंगी। यत्र तु नार्यस् पूज्यते तत्र देवतः रम्यते, यत्र तु एकतः न पूज्यते तत्र सर्वाः क्रिया अफलता। मतलब जहाँ नारी का सम्मान किया जाता है वहां देवताओं का वास होता है, जहाँ नारी का सम्मान नहीं होता वहां आप कोई भी कर्म, सुकर्म, अच्छा कार्य, यानी कि धर्म का कार्य भी करें, वहां पे देवता कभी वास नहीं करते, यहाँ पे आपको कोई कार्य नहीं फलता। ये आपके चैप्टर 3 वर्स नंबर 56 में मनुस्मृति में ही कहा गया है, फर्स्ट 1200 वर्सेस में इंक्लूडेड है। लेकिन जो बाकी के वर्जन्स हैं उसमें मल्टीपल थॉट्स हैं जो इससे मैच नहीं कर। दिस इज वन, ठीक है। so, जो आपने कहा था कि इसमें ऐसा क्यों कहा गया है मनुस्मृति में कि औरतों का स्थान पिता, वो हमेशा डिपेंडेंट रहती है पिता पे, फिर उसके बाद पति पे, शादी के बाद फिर अगर वो विधवा हो जाए तो अपने बेटे पे। सो इट वाज नथिंग लाइक दैट। और अगर पुराने समय में ऐसा कहा भी गया था तो उसके पास जो ज्योग्राफिकली या टेरेन वाइज ऐसे रीजंस थे, या उस सभ्यता के हिसाब से अगर मैं उस पर्सपेक्टिव से भी देखूं, उस पर्सपेक्टिव को भी मद्देनजर रखूं, तो उस समय लोग जंगल में रहते थे, ऐसी सिविलाइज सोसाइटी नहीं होती थी, ठीक है। और एक और बात बताऊं आपको, जो एक बहुत अच्छी पुस्तक मैंने पढ़ी थी, मैं आपको उसका नाम भी भूल गई, कम से कम 15 साल 17 साल पहले पढ़ी थी, कि जब लोग सिविलाइज सोसाइटी में नहीं रहते थे, जंगलों में रहते थे, तो जंगली जानवरों के बीच में रहते थे, तो खून की महक से एनिमल्स जो है क्या कहते हैं, अटैक मोड में आते हैं, ठीक है। सो ऑब्वियसली वुमेन के पास अटैकिंग मोड में एनिमल्स ज्यादा आते हैं और उनकी मृत्यु ज्यादा होती थी, ठीक है। सो दे यूज्ड टू बी प्रोटेक्टेड बाय, उनको घर के अंदर रखा जाता था, उनको बांध के मींस कि उनको घर के अंदर एक कमरे में बंद करके रखा जाता था, स्पेशली फॉर सम डेज, ठीक है। और उनको प्रोटेक्शन फादर के, फिर ब्रदर के या हस्बैंड की प्रोटेक्शन में रखा जाता था, ठीक है, फॉर सर्टेन डेज। और उसको उसका मीनिंग ये निकाला गया था। So there are biological reasons, there were scientific reasons behind it, and there were multiple reasons. तो मैं इसमें बहुत से आपको statistics और बहुत से scientific reasons भी दे सकती हूँ। तो it was nothing like that कि मनुस्मृति में, जहाँ तक तुमने रामायण का विचार दिया है, रामायण में सीता ने अपने आप को स्वयं जो है क्या कहते हैं उसके लिए अग्नि परीक्षा के लिए स्वयं स्पॉन्सर किया था कि मैं जो है अग्नि परीक्षा दूंगी या मैं धरती में समाऊंगी। उसका क्यों? उसका रीजन ये था, अगर आप रामायण पढ़ें ठीक है टुवर्ड्स द एंड, उसका रीजन ये था क्योंकि उन्होंने राम से जो डायलॉग हुआ था तो उन्होंने राम को कहा था कि जब आप राजा हैं तो मैं आपकी रानी हूँ, और राजधर्म ये कहता है कि हम एग्जाम्पल सेट करें कि राजा को कैसा होना चाहिए और रानी को कैसा होना चाहिए। जो हमारा राजधर्म है उसके लिए कि हमें अगर एग्जाम्पल सेट करना पड़े और अपना त्याग भी करना पड़े तो हमें उसमें पीछे नहीं हटना चाहिए, हमें अपनी भावनाओं से ऊपर राजधर्म हमारे लिए मुख्य है। There's a huge dialogue which is between Ram and Sita. There is no gender parity disparity there. There is a
No,
huge
I just
Rajadharma dialogue.
disagree. I'm not talking
That's okay,
about that
ma'am.
stage.
I respect your
Diksha.
disagreement, but read Ramayana.
No, I have gone through Ramayana also. This question boggles my mind so much. My daughter is
That's okay,
also of
ma'am.
this view. जब वो धोबी के कहने पे घर छोड़ दिया था ना, that is a gender. राम भी तो बाहर रहे।
धोबी के कहने पे सीता ने स्वयं घर छोड़ा था।
नहीं, स्वयं कोई नहीं छोड़ता है। नहीं, देखिए वो एक
चलिए मैम, इसका डिबेट हो जाएगा, इनका टाइम खराब हो जाएगा। We can do it offline. We can do it offline.
एक सेकंड, मैं एक और एग्जांपल देती हूँ। एक देखिए जब वो गौतम ऋषि,
ऑफलाइन इनका सेमिनार खराब हो जाएगा
ना, एक सेकंड, नहीं, देखिए पर्सनल व्यू है ये। गौतम ऋषि की वाइफ को पत्थर बना दिया और इंद्र को सिर्फ क्रूप होने का श्राप दिया। तो ये ईश्वर ने कहीं डिस्पैरिटी नहीं की है, ये सेल्फ क्रिएटेड डिस्पैरिटीज हैं, हमारी अपनी है। ये लेडीज की तरफ से भी हैं और जेंट्स की तरफ से भी हैं।
उनके लिए रूप मुख्य था, जो आपके लिए सबसे मुख्य होता है आपको वो सजा दी जाती है। अगर मेरे लिए वेल्थ इंपॉर्टेंट है, मुझसे वेल्थ छीन ली जाए तो वो मेरे लिए सबसे बड़ा अभिशाप होगा। अगर आपके लिए यूथफुलनेस इंपॉर्टेंट है, अगर आपके लिए यूथफुलनेस इंपॉर्टेंट है,
I'll just close my discussion by personal view that rib was taken from men to create women, so they are incomplete without each other. वो एक ही गाड़ी के दो पहिए हैं, उनको साथ चलना है।
Okay, ma'am, I like
एक दूसरे से टकराना नहीं है।
आपको मैं चैप्टर और वर्स के साथ बता दूंगी मैम। कभी जिंदगी में हम लोग मिले, ईश्वर करे, आपको वर्स के साथ बताऊंगी।
We'll arrange a separate session on this particular topic and we can have the same panelist. But right now we need to move forward. Marine,
Thank you so much.
Well, my knowledge about this question has not come out of my reading of Ramayana and Manusmriti. I've not read either, and I'm not going to claim. I have read Bhasham's cultural history.
मनुस्मृति में देखिए, मनुस्मृति में ये भी लिखा है, घोर पशु शूद्र और नारी ये है ताड़न के अधिकारी।
When Bhasham speaks about Manusmriti, I think it's my turn.
Women is compared with animal.
No, it would be unfair if Marine ma'am is not given a chance to speak. We have to maintain that equality between the panelists.
So my understanding comes from Bhasham, and Bhasham writes about Manusmriti. He writes it about length. He writes about the kinds of marriages that I believe a lot of law students are being told. And he also writes that language, when Sanskrit was a language that was used mostly by men, and when it came to Shudras and women, Prakrit was the language. And I'm only talking about my knowledge through my reading of history books.
Right.
But it is because we are in India and Hinduism is the most popular religion, so talking about these scriptures becomes important. But it's not any way different from what is written in other scriptures. If you looked at Bible, it also says that God made Adam, and then Adam's rib made Eve. And then Eve was the one who did the problem and ate an apple, etc., and was chucked out of heaven. Similarly, if we look at Quran, we will see that, you know what, even though it gives some property rights to women, but it also includes certain things that about divorce and if women need to be kept in check. One crucial thing that is universal in all of these languages and scriptures is that most of the editions, most of the books were written by men. Let's not, I mean, we might differ about the holiness of all the books, but they were all written by men. They had their own agenda of writing books. They also had to perpetuate then that man is more superior to woman. If a man were to say that to me, I will not agree with the man. But if God were to tell me that man is superior, I will trust me, I want to go to heaven, I will believe in God. And I think that is the basis of this argument. That's why religion itself is an ideology and it perpetuates certain thinking. And in most of them, patriarchy is writ large. Somehow we have agreed on that. That's it.
एक
I
शब्द
disagree.
सिर्फ बोलना
Both are
चाहूंगी,
equal.
एक शब्द
Both
बोलूंगी.
are
जी
equal.
जी
Biology is only in the body, not in the soul. So man
yes.
and women is not soul. Okay, whether it was Valmiki was a soul. He was a superior soul. He was not the body. Or your Pagambar was a soul. He was not the body.
Ma'am, but if they were women,
Muhammad
then they
was a
would have
soul.
written better things about women. It's my only problem and contention that
It's
if you were
our
women, then you
perception.
would have
It is
written
our
something
bias.
better.
It's our bias. Because we read it that way. It
Ma'am,
is
maybe,
our
but
bias.
Okay,
some
so
of the religions
this
are so
particular
new.
discussion has
So,
been gone into the theological aspect. So
Yes,
We
that's a
have
theological.
established this that we
we can
need a separate
yes,
session for this.
we
So
can
we
have
will
the
move on to
same
the
panelists, Mary ma'am, Juhi ma'am, Shama ma'am, with us again, and
you,
we'll
you
arrange
just want a
this
You
lot
will
much
be
of,
in
itself.
trouble. You will be in
yeah,
trouble, I tell you.
academic bashing.
Not an issue, ma'am. It is really interesting and
or
intriguing to hear
debate.
from each of you, and it is a privilege to have you all on board with us. So let's have a Q&A session. Moving forward with the Q&A session. So I'll ask each and every panelist one question. I cannot, because of the paucity of time, I cannot ask all the panelists to give their views on all the questions. So starting with Shama ma'am. Ma'am, Supreme Court has decriminalized adultery rather than punishing women and made women liable as accused under domestic violence. So Apex Court is of view women can stray around but should not dare be violent, which as such is not inherently their nature. So it's a question from Chopra. I do not know which Chopra, but some Chopra. So ma'am, please give your view.
It's very ticklish question.
Right.
Very ticklish question.
I didn't hear that.
Now it depends on person to person, their own views also. I have due respect to Honorable Supreme Court and Honorable Justice Chandrachud. He has reversed his father's own judgment on this adultery point. So it depends on the circumstances and change in society also. And domestic violence and otherwise, there are so many social factors behind all these things. So it's a very long discussion, matter of long discussion. And I conclude with thanks to all of you. And I will just reiterate that men and women are equal. They should respect each other and imbibe good habits in their children so that we come up with a better society and best society in the world. And our culture is so rich. Hindu culture is so rich, full of purity, discipline, self-discipline, and fasting, all other things, rituals.
And which culture is
No
not
other word.
Every
You can see
culture
all
is
these
rich.
things. So
Every culture.
we have to keep it ahead. Our culture is the best. We are the best. Indians are the best, but we are underestimating our values. You give the powers to women. In every field, you will see the women. Ratio is very low. We have to increase that ratio. And that opportunity is to be provided by the men. And law is there for every aspect, for equality. We have to implement in letter and spirit. So thank you so much. We are all equal. We are all good, and we are the best.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
ma'am, for your views. Moving forward with the next question
And be
put up by
positive.
Bhavya Gupta. So this question is directed to Marine ma'am. Uh, okay, are battered women in danger of losing custody of their children if they report abuse? If so, explain how and why.
I don't think so. I do not think that court or the law would say that, you get beaten up too many times, so let me take away the custody of the child from you. I don't believe that's true. I'm not an expert on succession laws and adoption laws, but I don't believe that can be true.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
up to 5 years, custody is always given to the mother because
That
it's the best period of the child to learn so many things. And I think mother has given natural instincts to bring her children in a proper way. 5 years,
Especially
up to
girls'
5
child.
years, mother has to take custody of the children. That is
Especially
the
girl
I
law
child.
might be
of
against that.
So
that
next
is
question
your
to
view, but
Juhi ma'am.
legal point. Legal
Yes, ma'am,
position
yes.
is very clear.
Yes, I meant like that
Suppose
automatically tells us that mother, you need to be more careful of the child. What if father is better than the mother? What if the mother is a
suppose she's
drug
not
addict?
financially
For a
good. If
chance.
she's not financially good, she abuses her children, then custody can be given to father.
Yeah,
It depends on the facts of every case.
true.
Okay.
Sometimes
So
mothers are also very cruel. Mothers are
right,
also
ma'am.
very cruel.
And they should have the right to be.
Uh, so we have to strike a balance.
Okay. So moving forward with the question, ma'am, Juhi ma'am, this question is from Chandrai Ray. So the question is, imparting a 4 or 5 year course to everyone is not what the nation is economically ready for. But can't vocational training of women who are going to invest in small scale industry remove this economic disparity without having changed to a white collar profession? Please.
Can you read the question again, please, Rasha?
Surely, ma'am. Imparting a 4 or 5 year course to everyone, which is not sorry, I'm so
Possible.
sorry. Imparting 4 or 5 year course to everyone is not what the nation is economically ready for. So, if we can vocationally train women who are going to invest in small scale industries, so do you think this will remove economical disparity and without having changed to white collar professions?
100%. By 20, I mean, some 5 years ago, government did a survey which said that by 2022, we need 50 million people to be skilled, vocationally skilled, to uphold the economy. So which is why a lot of schemes, Skill India mission was launched and things like that when Modi government came in power. And then that this particular scheme, and there's a lot of wrong thing happened under this scheme. That's a different debate and topic to talk about. But then ITIs were formed and different vocational institutions were formed. It was need of the hour. In fact, IITs से ज़्यादा ITIs बनाई गई, vocational institutions बनाए गए, because government cannot afford that. And 4 year education, सिर्फ 2.3% education, higher education बच्चों को मिल पाती है. लेकिन how about the rest of the children, who deserve education, who deserve employment? So of course it is going to uphold the nation employability, and GDP. It is going to help GDP to grow and things like that. It's very important. Not only women, but everyone, and specifically women, because women are lagging behind. We are 48% in total population in India. So of course, and we are lagging behind. The ratio of employment is 1:2. So we are very. The figures are very sad. We are half of the population, but we are half into the employment possibility. So
Okay.
that's the ratio.
So one announcement before ending the session. If you have any question that remains unanswered, because I'm seeing in the chat box that a lot of questions are there, you can mail that at info@legislations.com. Bhavya, if you can please write it in the chat, as I am from phone. We'll send the question personally to the panelists if you may wish, or we'll try to answer them or include it in another webinar we might be having in the future. Kumar, your closing remarks, please.
Yes, surely. So, as we have discussed today a lot about women and child rights with our esteemed and honored panelists, honorable panelists, Juhi ma'am, Marine ma'am, Shama ma'am, thank you so much for joining us. And it was a pleasure hearing from you guys. And it was such an enlightening session that we got to know about various aspects, various things which we're unaware of. So thank you again. On behalf of the team of Arohanam, also I would like Ilsa to speak something by giving her closing remarks. Ilsa, please.
So thank you, Shama ma'am, Juhi ma'am, and Mehreen ma'am for accompanying us in today's webinar. Um, I hope the session was beneficial for all the participants. We got to know many points regarding the rights of women and children that was so beneficial for us. Thank you, ma'am, for showing your gracious presence in today's event.
sir.
And ma'am,
Thank you so much.
we'll definitely have a theological session upon the issues
Yeah.
which we were
And
discussing.
moreover, I have to point out one last thing, that Aroham is doing a lot of great work. In case you have time, please do check it out. They are
Yeah.
doing great in this field. And like Ilsa, if you can tell that, because I
Yeah.
was really
Yes,
impressed.
yes.
Yeah,
Please
my
tell us.
organization Arohanam is basically working for the upliftment of underprivileged section of our society. We are disseminating legal awareness among the underprivileged section of our society. In the time of this pandemic, we have awared approx 500 underprivileged students through online mode, through Zoom app. And before the pandemic, like we go to government schools, government colleges to aware people about their basic rights. We have conducted survey on domestic violence. We have a collaboration with many other NGOs as well. So if in case any sort of case comes, we put forth to the higher authority, and we have solved many cases of domestic violence. We have also rescued women if they are in the trap. So in case in future, if you have any kind of women related issue or any sort of issue, or if you want to be legally aware, you can join us. Right now we have 200 members. We organize weekly webinars, workshops on personality development, free medical assistance, free legal assistance, so that none of the section of the society are legally unaware about any particular thing. So that's what was that's what my question was. The first question which I raised, that was about legal awareness. So I wanted uh, ma'am, I wanted ma'am, Mehreen ma'am, you said that legal awareness, legal people who are legally unaware, that's not an issue. Ma'am, I said that my question was, don't you think there must be an initiative taken by the government so that women must be legally aware? And you said
Then you have,
unawareness is not an issue. People who are
I'll just suggest, then you can, I will
You're
just
not
suggest
audible.
you that you can organize workshops in rural areas.
Yeah, ma'am, we have
When this
already
COVID
done.
is over,
We have already done. Ma'am, I was just questioning. In my previous question, I've asked this to Mehreen ma'am, and Mehreen ma'am said, I don't think this is
Are
an
you
issue.
looking for another answer? I did not mean that it's not an issue, but I don't think it's the issue that we should be focusing on,
Okay.
because there are many times that I know about my legal rights and I've barely fought for them. I don't think I don't know about them.
Happens with a lot of fun.
Even
Happens with a lot of fun.
even finding a house, I wasn't being able to find a house.
If we'll be legally aware, then if we are legally sound, then only we are legally empowered, right? Then only we could exercise our rights.
See, Ilsa, that was a question that was a specific question, and there was a
I
specific.
agree with ma'am's point. That's why I thought to say it in the
That's
last.
Yes. That was
That's
actually
important.
something different. I believe there's some misunderstanding. Okay.
Yeah.
So moving forward.
I agree with that point. Sorry to say, ma'am.
Okay. Moving forward, as we have had the closing remarks from Elsa, and we know about our owner. So we'll be again in future. We hope that we'll be collaborating with all the panelists again. Thank you, and we have the feedback form here. Participants, you can kindly provide your feedback to us so that we can, in our further webinars or panel discussions, we can adhere to it. So thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Juhi ma'am, Mehreen ma'am, Shama ma'am, to join us again.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So we call it a day.
thank you.
Yeah, sure.